Going on, everybody? Dr. Chris Featherstone here for yet another episode of Unscripted Listeners Tuesday nights. You know what that means. I have some of the biggest, the baddest, the best wrestlers and talent and draft picks, etc. of today and yesteryear, and tonight is no different. This guy has been on Unscripted before, but of course, Vince and I, we have 3 shows a week together. This week, we will have the Legion of Raw and Unscripted with our friend Bill Apter. Why is Vince Russo on Unscripted today? And people found out that the Vince Russo's going to be.
Why is Bill Apter totally frozen? Like, that's what I want to know. Like, that's the question of the night, bro. You and I are crystal clear. Yes. I don't know if the internet is bad at the home. I don't know what the deal is, bro. But what are we doing here with Bill Apter, bro?
I don't know. He's got the 1960s connection. Well, until our colleague Bill, we're all Sports Kita colleagues here. We'll try it again with Bill.
That might be better. That might be better.
I'm on my phone now for the first time. I'm here. I'm usually on my computer. It's great to be with you two. Yes. I am ready for any kind of action, Vince.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yeah,
look how handsome he is, bro. Look how handsome Bill is.
Well, you have to look at the different views of
Look
wonderful women.
Bill, look, man. I don't know if you know this. Bill, after, but there was an episode that's Vince, EC3, and myself. We have a weekly show, The Wrestling Outlaws.
I love it.
Thank you. And there was we just randomly chat, and we have things that we talk about, but we go off and we just, like you and I, Vince, Bill, we have great chemistry together. We just talk.
We do.
One of our just rabbit trail conversations we had was under the topic was about the topic of man crushes. All right.
Yeah.
So Vince and EC3 were talking about their man crushes. Okay. My answer was, I legit don't have a man crush. All right. And they were like, man, what? You don't have a man crush? I said, no, I don't have a man crush. And then yesterday it came as far as Bill Apter. It was suggested to me, like, is Bill Apter a man crush to you, Chris? And I said, you know what? You've got a point. I think I do have a man crush to Bill Apter. So I'm going to tell you now live to you that I have a man crush to you, Bill Apter.
Well, I appreciate that, and now I'm getting worried because we're going to be spending 2 nights in a condo in Detroit. Think of the internet, bro. If you want a story, if you want a storyline, this is a storyline for you.
How come I don't get the Sportskeeda invite to SummerSlam, bro?
Because Sportskeeda know that you won't step a foot in Detroit. Yeah. That's exactly
no.
That's why.
Hey, bro, Chris? I want to start the show with one thing first. Because, bro, after what's it been now? 20, 25 years, whatever. Bro, can we put something to bed once and for all?
Let's do it.
Once and for all. Bro, how do I share my screen, Chris?
Just hit present and I'll be able to share it.
Okay. Let's put one thing to bed once and for all, bro. Okay?
As soon as I see it, I'll be able to share
it. Don't bring it up yet. Chris. Let me set this up.
All right, go ahead.
In this Bash at the Beach by Vice TV, okay, I made a statement, and I've said the same exact thing, bro, from literally 2000, okay? And what I said was, my first 3 months at WCW, the ratings went up. Okay, that's what I said in the documentary. Now, bro, you have been hearing for 25 years of what a failure I was at WCW because Vince McMahon wasn't the filter, and I was an absolute failure at WCW. So later on in the show, Dave Meltzer comes on the show, and Dave Meltzer says, well, Russo will tell you that the ratings went up his first 3 months at WCW, but they didn't. They went down. So can you please share the screen, Chris, so we can put this to bed once and for all?
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Man, I don't know if you can read this. I'm going to try. Okay, guys.
We can't see it that much. Push. You have a Windows keyboard. Push Control equals the plus sign.
Control equals?
Yes.
Equals or plus?
It's the same thing. Just push Control plus.
Plus equal. It's not geometry.
Control plus. I did, Chris. This is what I'm getting.
Be able to put your cursor on that screen, and then push Control equals. That should be able to enlarge the screen.
Oh, let me try it here. Maybe it's here.
Yeah, there you go. Yep. Now push Control equals. It should be able to.
Control equals.
Yep.
Isn't there just a percentage thing on the top, Chris, that he can do?
That should work too.
It should be a drop down.
Well, I got to do Control equals, but then at the same time, I think I got to.
No,
you go up to the top. There should be a percentage.
Go to the top right. There should be 3 dots, and you should see zoom on the in the middle. Top right should be 3 dots.
I don't have 3 dots, bro.
All right. Go ahead and set it up.
No,
hold on. Email it to me. Send it to me, and I'll do it that way. All right. So let's do it that way. Just send it to me.
Can you cut all this out or not? We're live.
No, we're live now. We're live now.
Yeah. We're live.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Okay, hold on. Let me do it right now to you, because we need to put this to bed, bro, once and for all, because I'm so tired of the BS narratives, bro, and it needs to freaking stop. Yeah, because the only time, bro, I will say something is when I have numbers and facts to back it up. That is the only time.
That's the right thing. By the way, one thing that wasn't discussed and all that, I was there that night shooting pictures. You may have seen me at ringside there. And there were several things that back in those days that I remember. They used a photo from Wow magazine from when I worked there of you and Eric by the dressing room just shaking hands there. I was shocked at first to see the two of you together. I was like, wow, I hope this is going to work out. And the night that the whole bash at the beach took place, I was with Tim Toe, who was one of the other editors of Wow magazine, and we went to Hogan's house that night.
Oh, and wow.
We talked somewhere. He's got the videotape, the audio tape from the interview that we transcribed at Wow, but he went over that thing piece by piece, and what he said and what you said and what Eric said. And it was like it was absolutely amazing. But you'd have to find that issue of Wow magazine for the whole transcript. But it was a part of the way you laid it out, and the part of what they said they laid out. You know, it was both stories there. It was very difficult to see who was in the right at that point. But I remember being at ringside, and when Jeff laid down, I was like, is this something that's supposed to be happening? And Hulk, you could see it on the video. Hulk was looking at me like, what the hell is going on here? Like he had no idea what was going to go on. So he didn't know Jeff was just going to lay down, did he?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I got to dump out and come back, Chris, because my screen's all messed up. Did you get the email?
Yes, it's up there. It's up.
Yeah, it's up there now. It's fine.
Let me come back. Hold on.
Sounds good.
Yeah, but very few people, and I'm having internet problems this evening too, and I don't know why, Chris, but I'm on my phone now, so you can see me and hear me well.
You're good, man. It's the best okay. Curse.
So the thing is that being there that night was one of the most historical and controversial times in the business that I have ever been witness to. And to this day, people are still talking about it and debating it, just like they did with the Montreal screw job.
All right, Chris, my screen is messed up, but is it up on the screen? Because I can't see my screen. I'm getting 10 bookmarks. You can help by sharing. I can't. I'm not. I don't know what's going on here.
Well, Vince, what? I mean, do you know what the numbers?
Yeah, Chris, you got it up.
Yeah, it's up now.
Okay, guys, let's just put this to bed once and for all. So I said on the show, my first 3 months at WCW, the numbers went up. Dave Meltzer comes on and says, well, Vince will tell you the numbers went up, but they didn't. They went down. Yeah. Here are the numbers, guys. Anybody, and this is the failure I was at WCW my first 3 months. You first see, bro, this first graphic is the first 6 months, the 6 months prior to me and Ed coming into WCW. Okay, these are the 6 months before we came in. The average rating is 3.17. Okay, here's the 13 weeks, the first 13 weeks with Ed Ferreera and myself. The average rating is 3.21. So yes, bro, the ratings did indeed go up the first 3 months the first 13 shows we were there, 3 months. So not only did we stop the bleeding, but the numbers were indeed going up. Okay, bro. Then we have when Russo and Ferreira leave, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 weeks after we leave. the rating is down to 2.78. Okay. These are the facts, bro. Not the BS you've heard, not the spins that you've heard. These are the numbers of my first 3 months at WCW. They are there on the internet for anybody to look up. You got the dates. You could see for yourself. The 6 weeks before we got there, 3.17 was the average. The 13 weeks when we were there, 3.21 is the average. The 11 weeks after we left, 2.78 was the average. So let's stop with the BS and let's stop with the spins and let's stop with making up freaking numbers. Those are the facts. So if I came in and the last six weeks, WCW was averaging a 3.17, and in the next 13 weeks, Ed and I stopped the bleeding, and the number is now a 3.21. If you guys think that's a failure, then obviously you've bought into the BS narrative, and there's really no sense in us even speaking at all.
Bill, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no. I mean, the facts are the facts. And Vince, 23 years later, you're still as passionate about this thing, almost like it happened yesterday. People,
because Bill,
people always bring it up.
Bill, I get passionate, bro. You could say whatever you want about me. Like we all have opinions of everything. You could say whatever you want about me. You could say whatever you want about my writing. Don't lie, bro. Don't lie.
Yeah.
When you lie, that's what upsets me. And this narrative has been built by people like Dave Meltzer and the dirt sheet community about what a failure I was because Vince McMahon was the great filter. Bro, looking at that numbers, that doesn't look like a failure to me. Ed and I knew they were on a downward spiral. And we knew going in, bro, number one, we got to stop the bleeding. You got to put your finger in the dike. We've got to stop the bleeding. Sure. And then the plan was, bro, we need to tear down everything that they're doing, and we need to build a brand new foundation. Over those 13 shows, that is exactly what we were doing. So seriously, bro, stop coming at me with BS and lies because I do not say anything, bro, unless I know I have the factual numbers and the facts to back up what I'm saying.
Yeah, so you can back it up. So just out of curiosity, now that it's, again, 23 years later, the players in this whole scene, Jeff Jarrett, Eric Bischoff, and even Hogan, have you discussed this with any of those parties through the years?
What, the numbers?
No, not the numbers. The whole thing that went down.
Bill, here's what's BS. Can I tell you what's BS?
Please.
And Bill, you understand this because you're an East Coast guy like me.
Yeah.
Here's what's absolutely BS. Okay, people gotta understand, bro. With people like, Jim, I'm going to take Jim Cornette and Eric Bischoff, for instance. Okay. Here's what people don't understand, bro. I worked with Eric Bischoff and Jim Cornette. Okay. And, when I left WWE, Jim Cornette's working with me the whole time at WWE, and everything's fine, bro. Everything's hunky-dory. The minute I left the WWE, Jim Cornette leaves a voicemail on my, we had, machines back then, left a voicemail on my machine threatening to kill me and my entire family that my kids heard when they were at a very young age. So Jim Cornette hates Vince Russo. Oh, here's the funny thing, though, bro. There's a pattern here with these people. Guess what, Bill? Then we work together at TNA. We work together. I am producing the man in the back. Does Jim Cornette ever say anything to my face, bro? Is there any confrontation to me, to my face? No, absolutely not. But what happens, bro? As soon as Cornette is let go from TNA, oh, now we're going to get on the Vince Russo bandwagon all over again. Same exact story with Eric Bischoff, bro. So Eric and I were working together. Bash at the Beach happens. Okay, bro, when WCW is dead, now Eric Bischoff hates my guts. Oh, guess what, bro? Now I'm working together with Eric Bischoff at TNA. The whole time I'm working together with Eric Bischoff at TNA, he says nothing to my face. There is never an issue with Hulk Hogan. Oh, but what happens when Vince and Eric are no longer at TNA anymore? Oh, now I'm going to go on the internet, and now I'm going to go on Spice TV, on Vice TV, and now I'm going to bury Vince Russo all over again. The fact of the matter is, during all of this, the times when I worked with both of these individuals, bro, they had years to confront me and say something to my face, man to man, never one time. It's always when we're not working together that, oh, let's bury Vince. Let's call him a pathological liar. He doesn't have a creative bone in his body, yada, yada, yada. Meanwhile, both of these individuals had ample time to confront me while we worked together. Absolutely nothing, zero. See, the difference between me and Eric Bischoff is, and it'll be clear when people watch this Vice documentary, bro, I'm 62 years old. I am a grandfather. Eric is older than me. If you watch this documentary, guys, you will clearly see.
I saw it, by the way.
Okay, Bill, yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
I am talking about what happened. I am talking about the incident. Never once do I talk badly about Eric Bischoff. Do I talk negatively about Hulk Hogan? Do I call them names like,
well, wait. The Hulk Hogan thing, of course, that tirade that you had in the ring.
No, I'm talking about on the show. I'm talking about now in 2023.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Never once do I say a bad thing about them? Do I discredit them? Do I bury them? Never once. But Eric goes on there, a 63-year-old guy, like we are back in the third grade. And I'm gonna say, oh, I guess Vince didn't get attention when he was a kid. Vince is a pathological liar. Vince Russo doesn't have a creative bone in his body. Bro, you know what? I'm not in the third grade anymore. And I'm not going to go on national television and insult you and call you names like I'm a freaking child. Okay? I went on that show, very professional, and I stated the case. And that in a nutshell, Bill, is what I hate about the wrestling business and the people in the wrestling business, bro. They're con men, they're carnies, they're liars, they're politicians, and that's why I got out of the wrestling business. So at the end of the day, okay, I go on this show, I handle myself like a professional. I'm not calling anybody names. But holy crap, bro. Is Eric Bischoff going to be insulting me when he's 80 years old, bro? Like, seriously, man?
I'm not sure. Vince, I got a question for you. So with the numbers that you showed there, WCW being less before and after you were there, do you feel like people in the WCW, like a Bischoff, like a Hogan, like, anyone who was around that, and the fans as well, Do you feel like you are the scapegoat from a WCW product that was already dwindling down and going and losing at that point consecutively against the WWE?
I don't believe that, Chris, because anybody with a brain in their heads, if you guys think WCW went out of business because of creative and things that Vince Russo did on a television show, I mean, bro, you honestly can't be that sharp. So I don't believe people with intelligence believe that at all. And Eric even said that in this show, like, bro, Bash at the Beach was not the nail in the coffin of WCW. I mean, it was written on the wall, bro. When the merger was made, they did no longer want to be in the wrestling business.
Yeah, they had said that. I mean, the executives at Turner at that point were like, they didn't want to have wrestling anymore. And I remember when Eric was, trying to sell WCW off to some other companies and stuff like that. He wanted to keep it running, but the Turner people didn't want to have wrestling on their TV show anymore, on their station.
Right. Yeah. So when Bischoff said that he was hired back to oversee you, and he kept saying that,
yeah.
How did that make you feel hearing that?
Chris, bro, you got to understand something. I wrote a book back in 2002. WCW, how WCW killed, bro. I told the same exact story from then. You got to understand, bro, when Brad Siegel had me and Eric work together, okay, bro, Brad never told me what the roles were. He never did. Now, bro, could Brad Siegel have told Eric, you're overseeing Vince Russo? I don't know how that conversation went, bro. I wasn't there. All I know is Brad Siegel never said that to me. He never said, oh, Eric Bischoff's your boss. You're going to be reporting to Eric Bischoff. The way he presented it to me was, I want you and Eric to work together. So Eric keeps throwing out there, I was there to oversee Vince. I was there. Bro, if you were there to oversee me, you did a pretty shitty job, bro, because you didn't know that Booker T and Jeff Jarrett were having a match that night and Booker was going to be the champion, and you were overseeing me and you didn't know that, bro? Man, I got to tell you, bro, if you were overseeing me, you were doing an awful job, bro.
Yeah, Chris, I think we should somewhere down the next few weeks also have Eric Bischoff on here too, because Vince has brought up, some things here that I think the fans really that we need to know.
Sure. Yeah. So let's go back to the incident real quick before we go. So basically, what was presented, and I mean, you and I have talked, Vince, many times about what you saw from the incident. So from what Darkseid presented, it was Booker T. At the end of the day, Booker T. is the one that's over. He is the chosen person out of
and
all.
Bro, everybody knows this. It was on paper. Everybody got the format. There was a production meeting before the show. Like there was everybody in the building knew Jeff Jarrett and Booker T were having the match at the end, and Booker was going over. Because, bro, you got to be prepared. Pyro and all that stuff. Everybody in the building
got to be in advance. Sure.
Yes, everybody that was not a secret to anybody, bro.
So the route became complex, though. So basically, Jarrett was going to run roughshod over Legends. That was the chosen one gimmick. He was going to plow through Legends.
Yes.
Kind of like the Legend Killer with Orton, a few years
Randy
ago.
Orton. Sure.
Yeah. So basically he was going to kill some Legends in order to gain more steam to make Booker look better, because he's the one that is basically virgin when it came to being in the World Championship.
Yep.
Yes.
So that was the plan. That's how it's mapped out. So basically you came up with the script. You said, that you're going to look strong, Hogan, but you're not going there you're not leaving with the championship.
Yeah, Johnny Ace was the go-between, Chris. So okay. I had to write the script, and keep in mind, with this script I'm writing, the last match is Jarrett and Booker T.
Okay.
It's the show is written. So I give the first script to Laurinaitis, because Laurinaitis had to present it to Hulk. I got back that doesn't work for me, brother. Okay, bro, no problem. I work on.
Did he give you a reason, or he just straight up?
Just this is
no.
Not
it never really went directly from you to Hogan.
No,
in the middle. Okay, because the way I saw it on Dark Side, it looked like it was you, Eric, and Hulk.
No, that's the night of, Bill.
Okay.
The night of, yeah.
Okay.
So then, bro, I write the second script where I make Hulk look even stronger, but he doesn't win the belt.
Mm-hmm.
Laurinaitis presented to Hulk. Laurinaitis comes back to me and says, Vince, Hulk says he's fine with that.
So now, what was Steiner's role in this, though? You mentioned Steiner, too.
Well, Steiner and Jeff were kind of together at that point. They had a little gimmick. So, like, Hogan, wound up killing everybody, but not winning the title.
Was he going to do a run? Was Steiner going to do a run in? What was he supposed to do?
I can't remember the specifics. Okay. I wish
whatever it was, Hogan was game for it.
And Hogan tells Laurinaitis, fine, no problem. Johnny calls me and tells me that. Okay. See, bro, here's what I didn't know now. Here's the thing. I found this out in the deposition months later. After Hogan told Laurinaitis he was good with it, bro, Hogan's attorney sent a fax to the WCW office after closing hours on Friday. Bro, the pay-per-view is Sunday. Mm-hmm. Sends the fax to the office after closing hours stating Hulk Hogan was going to play his creative control card and he was not going to do what was written. Friday, after the office is closed and everybody's on their way to Bash at the Beach. So nobody saw this fax prior to the show on Sunday. I found that out in a deposition, months later. I didn't even know that.
Gotcha.
So
I got Vince. I have
what
a question.
What I'm saying is he agreed to it and then had his attorney write a letter, send it to WCW when nobody's there saying, nah, bro, I'm not going to do it.
I got a question for you, only because I know we're running out of time. It has nothing to do with this directly, but several weeks ago, and a lot of times when I see, I know your love and passion for what the business was, and you're always kind of yelling and screaming about how much you hate the business, why are you doing this, and you hate the business. What was the best thing about the wrestling business for you? When was it? And was it a time that you wish you could go back to again?
2012 when I left.
When you left.
Yeah.
But what was the best?
That was it.
I'm not saying when you left. What was the good time of it? What was a couple of moments that were good for you that you went home and went like, that was a great show. That was a great angle. Really? So why did you stay? Why did you continue to do it?
Because I had a family, Bill.
I know that. That.
I mean, that's why. I had a family and that I had to support, and this was my job.
Yeah.
So when you left WWE, why did you come back to the wrestling business? Why did you come back to it?
Wait. Oh, bro, seriously, what happened was I left the wrestling business, and I didn't leave the wrestling business, bro. I was working for WCW. Then WCW shut its doors. Then WCW went out of business. So I did not have a job. So that's why Jeff, who was my best friend at the time, said to me, bro, I'm starting this TNA and I really want you to come and write for me. So that was a whole different story, bro, because this was my friend. Gotcha. And this was a whole new company. And bro, listen, to answer Bill's questions, bro, the early years of TNA, pre Hogan and Bischoff, those were good times, bro.
What about your days back at WWF Magazine? I mean,
No, bro. The attitude era was fine, bro, because we were all working together. It was a family atmosphere. You know, Vince McMahon definitely had my back, bro. So politics couldn't come into play. He protected me very well. So that was a good time. I'd say, bro, the day I left the WWE and went to WCW, like that was kind of the beginning of the end.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but WCW is where you made the most money at, huh?
Yes, for 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah. And were you happy there most of the time?
WCW?
Some of the time?
Bro, I was miserable from day one.
From day one.
Day one, bro.
Wow. So did you ever think about just walking out and doing something else?
At WCW?
No, both with the whole wrestling career.
Yeah, bro. Here's what people don't understand. When I went to WCW, Bill, they offered me a 3-year contract.
Right.
And I said, no, I'm doing this for 2 years and then I'm going to be done with it. Because my plan was, bro, to do WCW for 2 years, literally save that money, and then be able to go do something else. What happened, Bill? To be honest with you, my personal business, if you go back and look during that time, bro, the stock market crashed.
Yeah.
Everything I made in WCW, I lost.
Right.
So I was back to square one, and that's when Jeff was starting TNA.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I guess the last part of this, just for me to know, and people are curious, was there a second career in your mind? I remember you had video stores and all this kind of stuff.
Bro, my whole plan was like, bro, when I was in college, my whole plan was, bro, I'm going to LA and I'm going to make it as a writer.
Okay.
What threw a monkey wrench into that, Bill, was I met my wife in college, and my wife lived in Indiana. So I had a decision to make. And the decision I made was I got married when I was 22 years old. So the LA dream was kind of over, because now I had a wife, and the whole life was happening. So that's why that never happened. I never pursued a job of being a wrestling writer. It just happened, bro. I got the job at the magazine, bro, because my video stores went out of business. I needed a job. I thought, bro, wrestling will be cool to get into. So I started freelancing. I got my foot in the door. I was hired as the editor of the magazine. I was completely happy doing that.
Yeah.
The problem was the product started going in the crapper. I was very outspoken with all the things that were wrong with it. So Vince McMahon kind of said, okay, big shot, put your money where your mouth is. And I did.
Yeah.
Vince Russo.
Yeah.
Love you, brother.
Love you too.
Me too.
Ran over. All right, ladies.
I can't believe we ran over, bro, because we didn't even talk about the bash, and there's just so many things to talk about. We didn't even get to talk about anything.
It's all good, man. You had a 30-minute therapy session, and
I will say this though, bro, and I've said this at any time. Okay, you can watch that episode. Hogan and Bischoff knew everything that was happening, including my promo. We were all on the same page. I have said, bro, publicly a million times, bro, let's make this real simple. Hook me up to a lie detector test. Real simple, bro. Hook me up to one. I'll take one tomorrow. Hook me up to one, and I will lay out. Because people got to ask themselves this question. First of all, real quick, Chris. First of all, Eric says he was overseeing me. Okay, bro, you were overseeing me, and you did not know that that Booker T and Jeff Jarrett were having a match that night. So ask Eric one simple question. This is all you have to ask him, bro. Okay, Eric, if you guys didn't know that was going to happen, and you guys left and that was the plan. Okay, Eric, then what was the main event that night? What was the main event? Bro, if it wasn't Booker and Jeff Jarrett, which you knew nothing about, What was the main event that? What was there a main event that night?
Mm-hmm. I think they, from what I heard from the dark side, they knew that it was supposed to be Hogan and Jarrett, the screwy finish, and then Jarrett. So it was supposed to be a tournament that ended at Halloween Havoc,
right?
And then Hogan comes in the tournament finals and
no, bro, that's the story they pitched to me.
So he said
that's the story they pitched to me.
Siegel approved it. That's what Siegel.
Yeah, they did all that behind my back.
Okay.
So then I went in there and they pitched this to me. And like I said in the documentary, in my mind, I'm like, Hogan's not leaving here with the belt. Mm-hmm. So the one thing Hogan said to me, Chris, real quick, because it's important, is he said, brother, if this was a shoot, and that's where it opened the door for me. And I said, brother, if this was a shoot, let me tell you how it would go down. Okay, I would go to my friend Jeff Jarrett. I would tell Jeff Jarrett, you're playing your creative control card. F Hulk Hogan. I would tell Jeff Jarrett to lay down for you in the middle of the ring. Okay, you would cover Jeff Jarrett 1, 2, 3. You would be so pissed off, bro, that you and Eric would leave the building. The reason you're leaving the building, bro, is because I've got to go out there and cut a scathing promo on you so I can make sense out of the Jeff Jarrett Booker T match. I said, so then I'm going to go out there, cut a scathing promo on you. Booker and Jeff are going to have their match. Booker's going to go over and be champion. And this is the part, bro, that probably the most important part that they did not put in this documentary. I don't know. Bill Apter knows Hogan and has known him for many years. Chris, when Hulk gets excited about something, his eyes become real wide.
Yep.
And after I laid it out, he said to me, oh, brother, I like that. This was his exact words, bro, on my dead mother, my dead grandmother, my children and my wife. Oh, brother, that'll be great. Then Booker will have a title. And I'll have a title, and we can have a match. And I said to him at that point, Hulk, we can discuss all of that after television. We got to do this show tonight. I will call you when we get back. Bro, I had every intention of calling Hulk to talk about, okay, bro, where do we go from here? When I got back to the office, Siegel called me in his office. Vince, what happened? I laid everything out. He said, how'd you leave it with Hulk? I said, Bill, I'm supposed to call him. Siegel tells me, Vince, you cannot call Hulk Hogan because we can't afford to put him on television. Therefore, I never made that phone call to Hulk. That's why he got pissed, bro. That's why he sued me for defamation of character, because I never called him when I said I was going to call him. And bro, I had every intention of calling him. And bro, honestly, I should have called him, even though Brad Siegel said, don't call him. Bro, this guy's running TBS and TNT. He's telling me, don't call Hulk because we can't afford to pay him. What am I supposed to do, bro? That's the story. People can believe it. They cannot believe it. I don't get, bro. If you think I'm going to lie over wrestling, you got loose screws in your head, bro.
Wow. Okay. The forgotten phone call heard around the world, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. All right. Well, Vince Russo, Bill Apter. This is probably, I've been doing unscripted for like 3 years now. This was the hottest,
this was unscripted. This was unscripted.
That Vince Russo equals ratings.
No, you know who equals ratings, Bill? You know who equals beside you? Tiny Tim, bro.
Tiny Tim.
Oh,
the great Tiny Tim.
Tiny Tim. Yeah. Well, I do you know I knew Tiny very well.
I know, Bill. That's why I brought it up, because I told you I was a Tiny Tim mark, and then you told me you met Tiny Tim, and I really marked out then.
I knew him really well.
Yes.
Really well.
Rest is stuff.
But for another unscripted.
Yes.
We'll do an unscripted on Tiny Tim and Pee Wee Herman.
Yes.
The late great Pee Wee Herman, man. Shout out to prayers go to the family of Pee Wee Herman and Adrian Street as well. I'm glad
Yeah,
he
yeah,
gave a
yes.
shout out to
Yes.
What a great guy, and what a great technical. When you talk about people who knew how to do the technical part of wrestling, he was right up there.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Vince Russo, Bill Apter. I'm Dr. Chris. This is UnSKripted, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good night, everybody. Solo.